If you're a long-time subscriber to this channel, then you'll know that I've owed you this video for a very, very long time. It's time for me to take you on a tour of my favorite Florida wreck dive, the mighty Spiegel Grove. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. As always, it's so great to see all of your smiling faces. I hope you're all doing really, really well. The day has finally come. I'm going to take you on a guided tour of my favorite wreck here in Florida, the mighty Spiegel Grove. And the reason that this video has taken me so long to put out is because I needed the right tools for the job. Namely, I needed a DPV. The Spiegel Grove is the third largest artificial reef in the world, the third largest man-made object that was sunk on purpose to make a dive site. She's 510 feet long and 84 feet wide. So if I was going to just swim around her with a GoPro or my big camera rig, whatever, and try and film her, it would take me for ages and the editing would be a nightmare. The right tool for this job was a DPV, and as some of you saw in my other videos, I've recently acquired a new DPV. So mounting a GoPro onto that and shooting around the Spiegel Grove gave me the opportunity to get all the footage and just do a quick voiceover for it. So without further ado, if you haven't done so already, make your next dive on our subscribe button and we'll jump straight in. Let's start with the basics then. The United States Navy Landing Ship Dock Spiegel Grove was commissioned in 1956 and decommissioned in 1989 when she became part of the Rust Fleet out of Norfolk, Virginia. She was sunk off of Key Largo, 6 miles off the coast in 2002. She was actually sunk on her side, and then Hurricane Dennis in 2005 did the world of scuba diving a favour and uprighted this amazing beast. Here we can see the view from the top and the bottom of what is the 5 ball. There are actually 7 mooring balls at the current time on the Spiegel Grove. I'm going to stage my bottle at the base of the mooring line and we are off. So right now I've got the black tip in top gear and I'm just cruising around the top of the superstructure. The top of the superstructure is about 60 feet deep. And here I am cruising at the moment towards the bow. This video was actually shot over a bunch of different dives, but we were rewarded with really nice conditions. And you're going to see coming into shot on just the right side of the frame, the base of what is the 6 ball, which is the shallowest mooring on the wreck. Really important you remember which mooring you come down so you can return to the same mooring. A common mistake a lot of divers do is they just find it upline, presume it's the one they came down, go up, and oh, my boat's not attached to the other end of it. Big boo-boo. This was my first day diving with the black tip, so I'm really just trying to get a feel for her, where I want to put my hand position, all that kind of good stuff, but so much fun, so much fun. Here I am following a grey reef shark up the port side of the wreck. Turned again here, heading back towards the bow. Spiegel Grove has definitely got more sharky in the time that I've been diving it. I remember the early days of my diving career on the Spiegel, we barely saw any sharks at all, and now they're pretty much guaranteed, so that's awesome. And then that curved section behind me you just saw in the last shot as well, and just as I crossed from the port side to the starboard side was where the anti-aircraft guns were mounted. There were 2 sets forward and aft of the superstructure. So here I am heading back towards the starboard side and I'm just making a turn towards the stern. That's the base of the 7 ball, which is actually a traverse line. It splits halfway down. One line comes to the wreck, the other one is anchored out in the sand, which allows boats to be better spread out on the surface. Don't forget to check your pressure, ladies and gentlemen. The Spiegel Grove is actually the 3rd largest artificial reef in the world. The 3rd largest item that was sank on purpose to make a dive site. She's 510 feet long and 84 feet wide at her beam. And I tell you those numbers to let you know that you're not going to see the whole wreck in 2 dives, 4 dives, 8 dives. Hell, I've probably got somewhere between 300 and 400 dives on the Spiegel Grove, and I haven't seen everything yet. She is absolutely massive. On the right side of the frame is the anti-aircraft guns aft of the superstructure, and just coming into frame on the left hand side is going to be the crane operator's booth cabin there, and you can see the Star Spangled Banner mounted on top of it, which is kept up by a bunch of local divers. So I'm heading towards the aft here. We have 2 cranes. I'm going to pass through the first one. Careful not to touch the coral growth. Those cranes were used to deploy and retrieve smaller craft. As a landing ship dock, the well deck of the Spiegel Grove would be wet, and boats would be able to access the wet dock through the boat ramp at the aft. There I choose to go over the second crane arm, the aftmost. And then that's a cutaway to a shot on the starboard side, and that you can just see a group of horseye jacks around the base of the crane. There's some hurricane damage there to some of those pipes that got twisted and bent up over time. And here I cut just to the inside of the well deck, again heading towards the aft, and you can see the heli deck, the helicopter pad. I'm just going to pass under on this pass. You can see another school of horseye jacks coming up. And you get the Millennium Falcon effect because I'm heading straight into the current. The prevailing current on the Spiegel Grove does travel from the aft to the forward. And there you can see the base of the one ball on the starboard side aft. There's a nice black grouper there. Some bar jack. And you can just see the boat ramp deck is down. This is the reverse view of that same shot heading down the starboard side towards the aft. I'm just next to the helipad right there. Then I'm going to make a turn, cut across from starboard to the port side of the wreck. Again, just seeing the aft part of the heli deck, what was the helicopter pad. The frame is still in pretty good structure, but the surfacing of the heli deck is completely gone.
Well, if you were directly above him, how could you see him?
Because I was inverted.
Bullshit. No, he was, man. It was a really great move. He was inverted.
Alright, let's take it up a notch. Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. This corridor is about 80 feet deep. It's commonly referred to as the Snoopy corridor. Snoopy was the mascot of the Spiegel Grove. She was nicknamed the top dog. And there is a motif of Snoopy riding an alligator with the vessel's number 32 in the corridor coming up as I make this turn. Somewhere on the deck right about here. Now this dive is an advanced open water dive, but there are really good opportunities for light-to-light swim-throughs, not penetrations. You can't see it on the camera from this angle, but all the way off to my left and right there are tons of openings. You can see when I make this turn that there's natural light coming in from above. So it's perforated like a piece of Swiss cheese, and there are plenty of openings for advanced open water wreck divers to be able to get light-to-light swim-throughs. I can see the opening now, so I'm gearing it up, keeping my profile as narrow as possible. One of my other favourite dives to do on the Spiegel Grove is to go treasure hunting out in the sand. So this is definitely a technical dive. We're about 145 feet here. Do not even attempt to get to the sand, ladies and gentlemen, unless you're technical trained. But if you are tech trained and you get out there, you're rewarded with prizes. That's an Insta360 camera, action camera. You're also going to find weight pockets, snorkels, masks, fins, all this kind of good stuff. What I tend to do is take down a milk crate and a lift bag, and I can usually fill it in about 20 minutes. There's a Mara's weight pocket, without doubt, the #1 brand of weight pocket that I find on the bottom of the ocean, Mara's. Their clips are absolute garbage. And that's a nice shot of the bow of the Spiegel Grove and my little setup with my milk crate and my lift bag. Somebody lost a fin. Why is there so much stuff in the sand? You can see there my total haul for that dive. All of the boats are moored at such a way that they actually hang over the sand. And most people are losing these items on entry or exit, and they're just dropping straight down to the sand. In case that wasn't enough for you, ladies and gentlemen, here is an absolutely blistering time lapse I shot on a different dive. The visibility wasn't as good, but this will really give you a sense of the scale of the wreck itself. Just absolutely massive. And I got to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, like, having a wreck like the Spiegel Grove as a training facility is absolutely amazing. I can teach everything from advanced open water to advanced trimix on the Spiegel Grove. Advanced wreck, it's brilliant. It is such a privilege to have such an amazing facility for divers located just 6 miles off the coast of Key Largo. It's absolutely brilliant. Just takes my breath away. So if you're in Key Largo and you're advanced open water certified or above, highly recommended. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my guided tour for you of the mighty Spiegel Grove, my favorite wreck dive here in South Florida. I want to say a great big thank you to the team at Horizon Divers who take me out week after week to dive that magnificent wreck in such style, with such professionalism, and put up with all my terrible English humour. So thank you so much to all the guys down there. If you're diving the Spiegel Grove, if you're diving Key Largo in general, highly recommend the team at Horizon Divers and tell them that James from Divers Ready sent you. You'll be well looked after. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Just over here, I'll put some other content from our back catalogue that you can check out. And that's it for this week from the Divers Ready studio. My name's James. Dive safe, dive often.